Let's talk about sample-based audio in video games. Nowadays, sample-based audio is the norm. A lot of games are synthesizing audio in real time using system-driven audio, but we'll save a conversation about that for another day. Up until now, we've been talking about how in early video games, the games were synthesizing their own sounds with their chips. But today I want to talk about playing back sound in games using recorded sounds. Now, digital sampling has been around for a while. Experiments in the 1960s and 70s led to the first commercial use of digital recording in 1971, Steve Marcus's Something, a jazz cover of the Beatles song. This was recorded in Japan by Denon. It was recorded in digital, even though its release was on the analog medium of vinyl. CDs, compact discs, first entered homes in 1982 as a consumer format for listening to music digitally. Now, thinking about game systems, the NES didn't come out until significantly after that. Even though its primary sound wasn't digital samples, it was its onboard synthesis. Now, I talked previously about how the NES was actually able to play digital samples, short recorded sound effects, but at a rather low fidelity. And this lo-fi playback of samples was also used in game cabinets significantly earlier.
Where I live.
But the primary mode of generating sound in games was with sound chips, PSGs, synthesizing the sound on the system itself with pulse waves and digital noise, and later FM synthesis, rather than playing back recorded samples. The reason for this is recorded samples take up a lot of space. The longer the sample, the higher the quality, the more space it's going to take up. A square wave or pulse wave, by comparison, doesn't take up any space. Now, the instructions to flick it on and off at the speed that it needs to create the frequency you want takes up a trivial amount of space, but compared to a recorded sample, this is tiny. So, in the Super Nintendo, released in 1990, 1991 in North America, the sound was actually produced through often short, recorded samples. These were 4-bit ADPCM files. Getting into the technology here is a bit beyond the scope of this video, but while these samples were significantly higher quality than the 1-bit DPCM files on the NES, they were still much lower quality than what we expect of audio today. As I've mentioned before, CD quality is 16 bits. Now, these Super NES samples were stored on the game cartridges, which didn't have all that much memory. So, for example, to create a piano, they might have just taken one piano sample for one note, then stretched it and compressed it to alter its pitch to create other notes for the full piano. Again, effective, but not the fidelity that we expect from a contemporary piano sampler. But moving forward from the Super Nintendo, the available size for games quickly expanded. The original PlayStation, for example, used CDs, so approximately 700 megabytes of data. Of course, audio was still relegated to a small portion of that disc, and so games didn't yet have full soundtracks of CD quality audio. For a while, it remained preferable to use similar techniques to the Super Nintendo to generate music in real time, especially for adaptive music systems. But as the size of media for games continued to increase, from multiple CDs to DVDs to Blu-rays to absurdly large file downloads, full CD quality adaptive soundtracks became more and more possible. Now that said, this doesn't mean that all of the music you hear in a game now just exists in storage, unchangeable. We'll talk more later about adaptive music and the different strategies that people use to have music change in real time as you play.